Good morning and welcome to our 2021 Virtual Parent Summit. My name is Chris Ostgaard and I'm the Superintendent of Pinon Unified School District. And on behalf of myself, the Pinon Unified Governing Board, and all of our staff, I would like to thank you for taking time out of your Saturday to join us for hours of presentations and interactive activities that we hope will give you a better idea of what we're doing here in the district this year for your children and ways that you can be involved in the educational process. So let me start here by talking about why do we do a parent summit. This is, I believe, the fourth year we've done a parent summit, and we miss having you here on campus. It's not quite the same as doing it virtually, but due to the pandemic and safety concerns, we wanted to be sure that we didn't break our tradition. And we do this because when schools, families, and the community work together to support learning, children do better in school. Research shows that they stay in school longer and they actually like school more. Benefits parents through a partnership with the school district because it builds relationships with the child's teacher, opens those lines of communication. Especially this year, we have reached out more probably than we ever have in the past because our students are at home. They're not here with us, they're home with you. We're providing the educational activities, but you're the ones implementing them. So I would encourage you all to ask questions of your students, ask questions of the teacher, watch the online classes and see how they're being delivered and what's happening. We know that you're helping with the homework, the instructional packets, and keeping your kids on some sort of schedule to get that work done. We hope that this has given you a better insight into the curriculum and what it is that we're doing this year. Benefits to students when parents and schools, the teachers are working together and communicating is that students typically have better attendance. In this case, they're checking in online, checking in through phone calls and other ways. They're not physically here on campus this year. And completing their homework. And we do have a high rate of homework completion, and we owe that to you, parents and grandparents and everybody that's home with you, the kids during this school year. When parents are involved, there's also higher graduation rates and students stay in school longer and also have better behavior overall. Fewer incidents of alcohol use, fighting, gang involvement, all those things drop when parents and schools are in regular communication and working together. So how do parents help? Obviously, this year you've been a huge help. We couldn't have done it without you. But we encourage you to continue to set goals with your children and to celebrate those goals as we move forward. Accessing the academic scores, we do still use the PowerSchool portal, so you can check grades and attendance daily through PowerSchool. There are also ways that you can interact with the teachers and the schools through Google, through email, through phone calls. And most importantly, actually talk to your children. See, how do they feel about school? We've been out of school off of campus now for 13 months, all the way back to March of last year. That's a long time. And students may feel disconnected, staff, parents may feel disconnected in this process. So that's a great way to see how children are feeling about the academic process, because we do still have, even though it's virtual, we do have counseling services and other support services available here on campus. Ways that parents can engage. We're still doing the We Are Family. We've done virtual open houses, culture nights, parent-teacher conferences are going virtually through Zoom, through Facebook Live sessions. Things are recorded and posted on our YouTube page. So that basically you can watch them anytime, even if you can't tune in live. Many of these activities are available anytime. If you're on social media, please follow us or like us on Facebook and Twitter. We do post regularly and we're working to do that more often, looking into Instagram and some of the other social media sites to increase our communication and connections. We do keep our website up to date. There's a lot of information on the website. It's www.pusdatsa.org, so you can check us out. We also have an app. So if you haven't downloaded that, you can go to the Google Play Store if you're on an Android phone or tablet, or through the Mac, Apple iOS store, and look for our Pinon Unified School District app. And it is an app version of our webpage, so you can see announcements. It keeps you up to date much quicker than it would be otherwise. Decision making, we do have several surveys, emails, and other opportunities going out right now to get feedback on this year, and then looking forward to next year, how to put things together. And we want to be sure that even though we can't have meetings on campus and talk to you face to face like we normally do, that you still have opportunities to provide feedback and input. So this year started way back already in July, and the state of Arizona, through Governor Ducey and the Arizona Department of Education, gave us 4 options of how to do school this year. The best option for us, and the best option to remain in compliance with Navajo Nation, the public health orders, the shelter in place, stay at home orders, was option 3, all students using distance learning from the start of the year. We've been doing that since day 1. We've had a few brief days where we were trying to do assessments and on-site support services, but since Navajo Nation has transitioned back to the shelter in place order, we've suspended those services again. So everything is distance learning, and most likely will be distance learning through the end of the school year. So how are we doing that? How are we making those changes? We still are using beyond textbooks. We're still using our curriculum and the Arizona standards. So even though students aren't on campus, they're still getting the same quality of education towards the Arizona standards that they would have been otherwise. It's just now through Zoom classes, the live sessions, the Google Meet sessions. They're also, teachers are doing recordings of themselves teaching, or recordings of classes, and placing them on YouTube pages that the teachers have created. We have Chromebooks available for all the students to check out this year to use at home. We're very heavily a Google school. We have the Google Apps for Education. And for those of you that don't have steady internet at home, we are also supplementing with learning packets. We do still have our reteach and enrich and tutoring services available. We are still providing professional development to our staff and working very closely with them to be sure that they're making the transition to this virtual learning environment. We're also now in recruiting season for new teachers and staff, so that's going very well. And we are looking for the most qualified people that we can find to have in our classrooms here on campus. And I would encourage you, if you're an educator or if you know of educators out there, to refer them to the district. I know some of you probably have some questions or concerns about general health and safety and the different protocols that we're putting in place here on campus. So these are things that have been ongoing really since March of last year, and will be ongoing through summer until school starts again in the fall. We're purchasing touchless hand sanitizer dispensers for classrooms and public spaces. So hand sanitizer will be available throughout the district. We're also redoing the restrooms to put in the touchless soap dispensers and other things, really to make things as safe as possible for students. We're doing the infrared touchless thermometers. We have those available on all of the buses. So once we start providing transportation services, we'll be able to screen students as they come onto the bus. And then we have them again as people come onto campus. We're currently, even though we have no students on campus, we are taking staff temperatures as they enter the building. And we have some automated machines that do that. On the picture there on the left is the automated system. So you walk up to it, it recognizes that you're there, it can tell if you're wearing a mask or not. And then there's a little sensor that you use your wrist on the side, and it will tell you if your temperature is within range and clear you to go in the building. On the right is a mechanical touchless hand sanitizer dispenser that our maintenance department has built with PVC piping. They've been very innovative in putting these things together. We've also have a mask mandate on campus, so staff and anyone who comes on campus is required, and this is through governing board policy and through the Governor Ducey's executive order, is that masks are required on campus. We've created special entryways in the 3 schools and at the district office to provide a safe space for members of the community to come in, to pick things up, to hand things out as we need, and still maintain that physical barrier. We have purchased and continue to purchase cleaning and sanitation supplies for every classroom. So throughout the day, teachers and students will be able to keep their areas clean and sanitized. We've purchased new carpet cleaning machines, electrostatic fogger machines where they walk in and can fog the classroom. And we've also closed campus to non-district related activities. So if you do come on campus, you will notice things are very restricted and there aren't a lot of other activities going on. These are the PPE that we've purchased: the hand sanitizer, germ war. We have wipes, we have sprays, we have the cloths to clean. We have the face shields for staff members, and we've provided masks to students and staff as well. We are also looking at either replacing water fountains or turning them off and putting in the water bottle fill stations. That was a recommendation from the CDC that just to increase safety. We are placing signs throughout campus reminding everyone to maintain social distancing, and we've actually purchased special equipment to make our own signs and to place those around the campus, floor markers, wall markers, and everything else to keep those in place. For the instructional program, we've also added Wi-Fi hotspots to 14 of our school buses, and all new school buses that we purchase will also be Wi-Fi hotspots, so that number will increase. And they are going out in the community. They will throughout our summer programs to provide internet access for those that may not have them at home. And this is a sample from last fall where we had a bus parked out in the community and people were coming up and signing in on the Wi-Fi. We also have a guest Wi-Fi here on campus. So if you drive in and park in the parking lots, you'll be able to pick up a Pinon guest Wi-Fi network and be able to participate in Zoom meetings or other Google Classroom activities. We have numerous instructional programs. We've purchased training, so all of our teachers can become Google certified teachers through our Google platform. We have Google Classroom, Study Island, the Ingenuity, E2020, Achieve 3000, so many online programs that are available. And I'm very excited to announce that we have added a 4th school to Pinon Unified School District, and that's an online school for next year, Pinon Eagles Online Academy, and that will serve students in grades K-12. It is online, so students would have to have internet access at home to be able to participate. We can still provide Chromebooks as necessary, but this will be an online option that will carry forward next year. So if this idea of students working from home has worked out very well and you want to continue that, or you're just not maybe comfortable sending your children back to campus yet, you can enroll in the online academy and keep the online education going. We're also preparing for students to return to campus next year. So we are looking at our classroom spaces, removing extra furniture, changing out some of the furniture. We've purchased many dividers and barriers, but we're also creating them here. Our maintenance department is putting those together. And this is one of our classrooms that you can see how we've put together those barriers to increase student safety for those students who return. We're distancing in the classrooms. If you're familiar, the CDC guidance now for schools is a minimum of 3 feet of distance. We're shooting for more than that, so we're still putting as much space as possible. And this just shows you what some of our classrooms look like with the space provided. And we're also will be putting those barrier dividers between the desks as well. And this is Pinon High School. We're working very closely with our maintenance department to replace all the filtration in our HVAC units. So we will have a higher level of filtration and through the air conditioning and through the heating. We will be replacing some of our HVAC units, some of the older ones that maybe aren't functioning as efficiently as they should. And we are lucky on campus that our elementary, middle school, and high school have, in addition to heating and air conditioning, they also have an air exchange system where it pulls in fresh air from the outside and circulates out the air. Some additional things that we're doing to support our students in the community. We've had food service operations going all year. So next year, when things start up on campus again, we're looking at, instead of having large communal spaces where all the kids come in together and sit, that we would be providing meals in the classrooms in a more contained, smaller setting using disposable items. And we are still running and will run through the end of June our Meals on Wheels program and our drive-through. So Tuesdays and Thursdays of each week, you can come and get meals, 7 days worth of breakfast and lunch for any child age 18 or younger. They don't have to be enrolled at Pinon Unified to take advantage of that. And then for transportation services, we are evaluating our bus routes and how many students can safely be transported on each bus with the physical distancing. We are also looking at ventilation and air circulation, air filtration systems for the school buses, and we've ordered a few new buses to replace some of our older buses. We have screening procedures that will be used on the buses for student temperature checks and other safety protocols before students are allowed on the bus or brought to campus. We've also replaced our old vans with some new Suburbans for transport of students. So we've been working hard in the transportation department this year. Even though we're not picking up students and dropping them off, all of our bus drivers are still working hard through this school year. I know that was a lot of information very quickly. I know it's a full day ahead and that I was only given a certain amount of time to speak to you this morning. But again, I want to thank you for attending, for taking time out of your Saturday, and for being here with us virtually for our Parent Summit. I hope you enjoy your time there at the Parent Summit. And if you have any questions, concerns, there'll be time throughout the day that you can raise those, and you can certainly reach out to your teachers at the school level, your building administrators, or to me at the district level. If you need additional information or want to know anything more about what I've talked about today, please feel free to reach out and contact me. Again, thank you and have a wonderful day.